you live in your homes on your social media handles through your mobile phones or any other gadgets you are using. You should know by now that John Dramani Mahama is on phase 4 of his Greater Accra Region tour. Currently, as we speak, we are at Prampram. Prampram is one of the NDC strongholds in the Greater Accra region. As we speak, the traditional leaders, as they call them, Nime Name, are seated here waiting patiently for the arrival of John Dramani Mahama. If you look behind me, some of the very important personalities in this particular constituencies with reference to the NDC as a political party are here. The Member of Parliament for the area, Sam George, is also seated waiting for the arrival of John Dramani Mahama in the next few minutes. For many of you who don't know much about Prampram, let me give you a brief political history. It is one of the strongholds of the NDC. The seat has been retained by the NDC for many years. For example, many of us know Enokte Mensah, E.T. Mensah, somebody who before his death was respected for his influence in the Greater Accra region and NDC as a political party. He held the seat from 2007 to 2017. He became the longest serving member of parliament for this area. In 2017, Sam Jata George won the election, and as we speak, he is the current member of parliament. The NDC over the past decades has won elections in this constituency with more than 70% votes. In 2020, for example, John Dramani Mahama won over 71% of the votes here in Ningo Prampram, and of course, the MP won a little over 69%. So it tells you this is relatively a safe seat for the NDC. If you look behind me, there are a lot of NDC supporters here, many behind me, some down there scrambling for space before the arrival of John Dramani Mahama. But I have one of the constituency executives to talk to. I have been to Ningo Prampram several years. In 2020, the road from the main junction through the intersection that brings us to Ningo were tarred, but it looks like all the roads are bad, and it will look like what many people expected to see is not here. What is the problem?
Like you rightfully said, that is the case. In fact, in 2016, before John Dramani Mahama left power, he asphalted the road from Prampram way down to where the clinic is. But unfortunately, when the MPP came, the only good thing they did for the people of Ningo Prampram is to just destroy the road. In the name of a state defense, they are doing there. When you go there, the sea itself is destroying the towns around Aitepa, Pomuno, and Lepomuno, but they didn't get the sense to go and do the sea defense there. They are rather doing the sea defense from Old Ningo to Prampram, where after they've looted our land, our farms, they've come to build their houses there. We have the houses of most of our ministers there, and so in order for the sea not to destroy their houses, they are putting up a sea defense, and that is the message they're going out with. And because of the sea defense that they are doing, they have spread the road from New Ningo way down to Prampram, down to where the clinic.
So you are suggesting that the sea defense project that we saw there is actually not targeted at the communities that are being devastated by the sea waves?
That is the fact. If you want to know the exact communities that have been affected by the sea defense, let's go to Aitepa, let's go to Pomuno, let's go to Lepomuno. They are only protecting their houses there. After looting the state funds, after stealing from us, they've come to buy homes, they've come to put up homes there, and then they want to protect their houses there. And that is why they are doing the sea defense.
It is interesting that this is coming up, but for those who have joined us, this is a live coverage of phase 4 of John Mahama's campaign tour of the Greater Accra region. Prampram largely is a fishing community. It is also one of the sprawling communities or districts in Greater Accra. It has a beachfront which has huge tourism potential. Beyond that, it is also an area which has been earmarked for the construction of the next international airport for Ghana. So the potential for Prampram to become an industrial hub is huge. But the people say there are several problems. Now, when we talk about Prampram, what are some of the campaign issues here?
You see, The MPP has no campaign message. The development of every community is based on three basic things: water, light, and road. It was the NDC that first gave us our road. It was the NDC that gave us light. It was the NDC that gave us the water we are drinking now. When the MPP came to power, they did nothing for the good people of Ningo Prampram. Now the issue people are facing here is with jobs. When John Dramani Mahama was in power, 2015, he was putting up the Saglemi housing project there. There were young guys here who are bussed from here to the project site. They are paid at the end of the month. But when the MPP came, they have stopped that project. It's now lizards, crocodiles, and snakes that live there. One issue they are talking about is education. Ask them the number of schools they have put up here. The development of every constituency or district is based on the district assembly. It is the NDC that gave the people of Ningo Prampram a district assembly, and based on that, we have certain projects like the clinics, like the schools we have. When they came, ask them the things they have done. So it was the NDC that gave the Ningo Prampram a district assembly. Those days, if you want to go to court, you need to go to Dodowa. But now, the NDC in 2012 under the late Professor Ivan Satamis gave us a district assembly, and that is what we have now. So the MPP hasn't done anything for the good people of Ningo Prampram. People listening to us, if you want to vote, you vote well. There are times people don't understand why the good people of Ningo Prampram vote for Honorable Sam George and then John Dramani Mahama. But it is the NDC that has lifted Ningo Prampram to the status in which we are now. So if there's any party to be voted for, as far as this election is concerned, it should be the NDC.
Now, I'll be engaging you more on several other issues. I've seen Tetecha here, so I'll come back to you briefly because he's going to be engaged. I'll come back to you to continue our conversation. Now, let me walk to Honorable Tetecha, who is the regional secretary of the party, a former member of parliament, and of course, the NDC is hoping to win as many seats as possible. In 2020, you got back many of the seats along the coastal belt. Today, we are touring Ningo Prampram. We are going to Pounkatamanso. We are going to the Tema constituencies. These are typically coastal constituencies. How are the campaign activities ongoing, and what issues are emerging?
Thank you very much. First of all, let me say a very good morning to the people of Ningo. In fact, the weather isn't too good, but they are outside showing their love for the NDC, showing their love to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And there's one significant thing about Ningo and then Prampram. Currently, we are in Ningo. The reason why I want to indicate this to the whole world is the fact that this is one constituency led by Sam Nate George, the Member of Parliament, did indicate to us as a party in the last election that they were prepared to increase the votes to about 50,000.
Hallelujah!
And
Hallelujah!
it was the people who promised that they were going to do that. Lo and behold, it was one constituency that lived up to that target. And we must commend the people of Ningo for the love they have for the party. Number two, this year, they've again indicated to us that they want to increase the support base of the party to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama by 100,000. You see, very, very ambitious. But per what we've seen so far, going through the town, coming to where the first program is being organized, it clearly tells you that the good people of Ningo are actually ready to make sure we hit that target. And we need to commend them as a party for that.
So, if you look at Ningo Prampram, in my preamble, I was citing Ningo Prampram as one of the communities along the coastal belt. This election, beyond the evidence that is available for people to see the reason why they have to vote for the NDC, it's also about bread and butter issues. Now, these are typically fishermen or farmers or people into some form of commerce. Are they understanding the policies John Mahama has been putting across, and how do they stand to benefit?
In fact, they long to see the NDC come back to power, simply because when we were in power, we made premix very affordable and accessible for those who go to sea. We made our fishmongers
those who go to buy the fish, we subsidize some of the equipment that they normally use, these basins, and it was even sometimes distributed to them free of charge. Currently it is not so, but one major problem affecting this community is their road network.
Okay, so I will stop here with you, because I've seen the member of parliament to be very busy when John Dramani Mahama arrived. So let me speak to Sam Jata George. Just as he joined me, you can hear the noise at the background indicating that the support base for Sam George is high. Now, the Ningo Prampram I saw in 2020, in 2016 is not what I see today, especially because of the roads. What is happening?
We've had 8 years of neglect by the Akufo-Addo government. You have a government that has decided not to do anything in terms of infrastructure. In fact, in 2016, when I was candidate, John Mahama gave us 16 kilometers of asphalt. The Akufo-Addo government claims that they are doing a sea defense, and they have used the sea defense trucks to damage the road. 8 years, simply nothing has been done. And the president's wife comes from Old Ningo, she comes from here. Absolutely no work, because they consider that the people of Ningo Prampram are solidly behind President Mahama. But we have been patient enough, because we know the next 4 years of a John Mahama government will see the fixing of our roads.
Now, when I spoke to one of your executives, I got the impression that that sea defense project ongoing, it's not really going to address the problems the coastal communities which are being devastated or pounded by the waves will benefit from, but rather for their investment. Are you privy to this? And what are the concerns that you can raise on the floor of parliament?
5 sea defense projects were started at the same time in 2019, including Ningo Prampram. The Parliamentary Committee on Works and Housing visited all the 5 sites. The one in Ningo Prampram, in fact in Old Ningo, is the worst one. In fact, the Parliamentary Committee recommended that the contractor should not be paid. That's how shoddy the work has been done. But I mean, it's typical of the Akufo-Addo regime, because we've seen the sea defense has been done from Keita all the way to Anyamam. And what's been done here is not fixing the problems. By now, you should have begun to see a building of the coastline. That's not happening. Extremely shoddy work has been done, and we will need John Mahama to come in and fix it for us.
I see many people here who don't have jobs. Young men who are enthusiastic about getting John Mahama back to solve their problem. What are the typical problems or concerns among your supporters?
Well, jobs is a problem like across the country. I'll give you a typical example. Many of these young men were actually working, they're skilled laborers. Many of them were working as masons. Some of them were acting as steel benders. At the Saglemi housing project, when Mahama left, they were laid off. The materials that were there were stolen by MPP apparatchiks, and we've been left in a state of despondency. But we are confident that with Mahama coming back, some of the young people here will benefit from the digital jobs initiative. Some of them will benefit from the national apprenticeship program. Some of them will benefit from a Juma Rua program. And so we're looking forward to President Mahama coming back, because here we say he's John Opekoye Mahama.
What does it mean?
John Opekoye. Opekoye means he has done it before. Ayebida. We call him John Opekoye Mahama. Not like Baumia Akaye Mahmoud. Not at all.
You represent a typical fishing communities. Now, if you look at the lifestyle of the people here, their source of livelihood also depends on the sea. What are some of the issues that the NDC is addressing that is maybe giving them even more hope?
Well, there's no what it was under Premix. Premix has always been a mainstay brought in by President Rawlings for our fishermen. But here we stand today. That today the Premix committee is made up of bakers, is made up of taxi drivers, and not fishermen and canoe owners, and not fishmongers. For 8 years under Mahama and Mills, you had Premix committees doing a lot of developmental projects with their share of the revenue from the Premix. Now for 8 years, you have not seen a single block built by Premix committees. So we're waiting forward to see what will happen. under Mahama, were able to buy outboard engines for 12,000 cedis. Some were 6,000, between 6 and 12,000 cedis. Today, an outboard engine is 75,000 cedis. How can they afford it? And that's why we're looking forward to the return of Mahama, to make sure that the fishermen have their livestock again and livelihoods sustained.
Now, before you go, last question. If you were speaking through our lens to the people of Greater Accra region, in particular those along the coastal belt, what simple message would you give them that gives them assurance that John Mahama will deliver?
Imambi gamefe kadangwe bi wakla wale bene mama fonsi ha na wale ni na ya no na wakopa mi eno he na wangede ke John Mahama na wakale na waye watro da na wana nene mijo wana 8 years of Akufo-Addo wana bene agbe wani twi na wonya wana bene bon ya ni twi mi okla kpasa eno he na wake wa he for John Mahama because wale bene epele ha wo ye na wale kai ma pale pe ko ha wo eno he na wa ma pale leke ba ne na ewo no ya nkeba ne outboard motors ne premix ne ya kani ne waleleli akamaya wo anine masu no eko ne boanye ngeba ne basi ne ni ne mune no ahane blefoli Chinese being Japanese being akatrollers bangelu oklamo ne wa landing beaches apewe landing beaches awo eno kla John Mahama keba e ma pale pe ko awo because wale e mode bobwe wale bene etuni ye ne wa nge no kam nge eno ka e ma yewo because ne me ne pio wa hu no you omo adibo wewo ane wo kan nimli ana wo kan wole se bita flache wa se o woleli meneme jime se John Mahama ke NDC le ana wo kan nimli ana wo kan anyamime apete wa he awawo ana wo kan awekuni eno he ne wa kan wa ke John Mahama ke NDC maya ne.
So in one sentence, what have you said?
I basically said that look, the NPP does not regard and consider fishermen and the people of the coast as belonging. They see us as lesser people. They don't associate with us. They see us as Sankrofono. That's how they regard us. They don't see us as befitting of progress. But John Mahama and the NDC is a party that was built on the toils and struggles of fishermen, on the toils and struggles of farmers, on the toil and struggles of black collar people. And so we recognize with them. We empathize with them. The NDC feels their pain. And that's why the NDC has always been the party for the downtrodden. That's why they say NDC for the we have the Akrachi and we have the rest as well.
Thank you very much.
We are.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. God bless you. So we are still at Ningo Prampram, and the noise at the background should let you understand why he holds so much support here at Ningo Prampram. Obviously, I'll be speaking to many of the young men and women here, and many of them are already dancing, waiting to talk to me. Let me talk to this woman. Adana, I say when you bresa.
Many a chiabroso. Esan said, 8 years and 4 years. Ya bonfire, ya got to say John Dramani Mahama. Why ye bidda? Abasaya be and ye never trash. Nino. Samsu all the way, Yanim Tatano, Yanimadia, a ya or Ningo Prampram. Omo Nana someone Omubu. Yanimadami, Etienne said John Dramani Mama, incoming president, about Old Ningo. Yeah, Baba 3 I'm sorry, and I'm jolly, and I'm 3
a.m.
Me dada, me donya me 3 and I'm sorry, and I'm jolly, and I'm drumming 9 so me try John Dramani Mahama.
Then I'm out when it's in the house.
Oh, John Dramani Mama. Papa no. Now Brasia, Nesamka, why you been there? But have a swat to build. And not the mammy and Jabros.
Maybe so as Sambako. More ma moahano. Moye Juma, Ebumoye Epujuma, Ebumoso Edofu, and Noma Bain and a Mundim say or Bao Bayan, and Mubaya a free no.
Made I say, where they make out me crum castle. Nene was on a John Dramani Mama, a batch. One Ningo Prampram, one more. One no me wa che me wa pa me aya wo ne wa yo me wa won mo na ma to bi ne ni ala madinga dangba mi chi wa dangba bi wa hia samenya lo anu wa he wa jodo ni mama enya bosi tapke awo jali e ka ma shiba ne o ma bo ko na ka ma mo free sene MPP Bapawa, Masoko Atola Ipo, Obena. Ke aba amuoka wo atuyamina gba wekuli ne wonmo uli omo emi wonmo ye ma mi wonmo ye apa wonmo wonmo le awo tupo fertilizer free wapewe sepio ne MPP Bapawa ma tupo akwa ayepo one amuoka MPP binga ningo nakawo atuyamina ngajo connection second John Dramani Mahama ba ne wata wa honorable someone at the judge eba machine free machine wa kama hunwela free chupa free wabime kaya school akasioni John Dramani Mahama eba gba computer kaya school bina keni ton nena na beke free education obi ma school 2 months ya ba isi away 4 months anga ha here nanga before wanenya etima ma de wafa.
Okay, so it will look as if many people really understand the campaign issues, and so sometimes when I try to test their understanding of what this year's elections is about, they tell me exactly what the political parties are saying. Now there are many of them here. Let me walk in there and then speak to others. There's a woman here who wants to speak to me.
Almost independence. Independence almost say that. Almost your business war. Almost your business bia. No almost say yeah. Almost buy ya ushi. Almost your bibia ya kwa for boys. Almost pedidie. Almost this kind of sabe dada moa. No more age no more no. That's how about so don't be ushi. Don't be no we. Ya man na se. Akola no nya fa me say me ba de fe wa fire fu. Oko so afa me bisa ni ko so wotimi anchile. Atese no de na afufa do se. Obia na ujuma oye na obedi. Into obia pede oye. But ye papa John Mahama on the floor was so ye want to ye papa. Bibia nya ye. School club to school fees club want to ye. Bibia wo ble o to adeso benya sika. Adeso to so ye beto. Ska wo bibia wo. But akufa do ba de ye want ye papa. Ye hu bibia no. Omu kopo so omu nya na. Onu ko oba wa tupu amaye. Na me papa John Mahama won the phone ye mu tu da. Nye na ye didi ye bibia. Ana mo ye wo mu di dada ye. Na ye say afi de pese papa omra. Obedi on di o ye de ye pe. Ye be foto ama no. Omra no be ta say ye hu to ye. Omu sidan. Ana mo ye business. So mo ye defense ama. Omu bu ama nya hwe.
Okay, so this is Ningo Prampram, and I've been trying to engage as many women as possible. It looks like the women are hijacking the. He said, yes, she said she wants to talk to us because this is Ways Your TV. And why are you so excited?
Why?
Are you excited?
Oh, I want to vote for JMN, Sam George.
What is NDC coming to do that you like?
Oh, because as for NDC government is good.
Ama weni aje say NDC say omoba ombetumi aye no ma beboa ema.
NDC government no lot of one so. Oto aje ketu ebi no anya ska bebre. Na fe nso ajo mama no. Owo abotre ema nipa da seni. Esi aje bia odi betu nanim bia. Unsambeka anata sa wankasa unya kwadofo na odi WhatsApp tu do mama ni ma. Obedi opa ma o.
Okay, so what I would do at the moment is to walk you around to see how well set the place is, so that so what we are doing now is to have help you to just have a feel of the presence here before the arrival of John Dramani Mahama. So seated here are the traditional authorities of the Ningo Prampram here. So you see the chiefs, the elderly in the community, some other prominent traditional authorities well seated here. On my right hand side are some dignitaries who are also here, who are basically the clerics, representatives of the Muslim community. They are also seated right here. And then behind me is a thick crowd, and I'm sure very soon we'll be expecting John Mahama to arrive here. So I'll walk you back to where the ordinary people are who are waiting to speak to John Dramani Mahama. So let me speak to some of the people around. We were live our Ways of TV. Mono ediane hiamu ewa na ediane amamudi ya ewa.
Yo mochumi epioka ma tudangwe mohuli jiwo aha lo o mana ka jebene MPP ba wo sono mo ne wange no na ke esuhumi bene wa ma hu iko afoma si mono eko meska hu be wa ma apa ke wa hu wa ne noko no mana ka mohumi jinenenge wokla wa nge jiomi se wa ne yemi ke bua mi ndo hane ke suhum bio ke wa hu bachu wa bi menenge school ya ni che hu ke wa ma wo school fees ka pe problem ha wo abam lo wo ke se ama please school free se jamalo lo me kla wa ne ko 136 kla wa ne ko damu ina twa ha wo e pue ne wa MP ba ne madrakla a tienya wanye wene wake pe no koko ne ewawo ne bene ape ne engel ewawo wana emilohi ne wakele wahi se jama no mekla eba puenge wade lo wange wa kwefa midika votu na ma votu no wa bimene atu votu minyakla wa wo metuepe ke bane wa register me bene pene wa na votu wone wake wini ke aba power keke wana ka wa no peno ma joy ni dasi no gine ke bi NDC here gine iko na ka cha iko ninge.
Okay, so basically he's complaining about the disappointment in this government over the period in spite of all the promises that were made. And then if you look at my left hand side, you see that there's a lot of women who are excited dancing, and I have a lot of them here. If I tell me women say when you Africa when we politics our Ghana again ma wo penny would you say aban ba omonye ma eyamoya na wo gidi say bia Mahama ba mu wo gidi e wono mu
yo gidi aye wo ani say the oba aye oba ya di kan ni oyin to na ni aje ni say omra mbeso to moye to na ni aje ni hu papa the finance pa gidi e wo mu
na MPP for pa kire say anka abraba no eye kakra na had ya mamu
anu wa mu park nu ya mayen say jo mama itina ya penance so omra ya jo ni no kan se pa kire ye ya sum to.
Okay, so basically he hopes that John Mahama would deliver a message that will touch their heart because they have a lot of problems. Now mami nu ndin komo bacho wo de weni free e na hamu ewo Ningo Prampram ha, especially Ningo
ade ba kunu se ye wo Prampram ha wasi sia no se na abrabo ni ti o Ningo ha no e high because first 90s wo ho no sade no ni Ningo wasi sia no Ningo e ye di ha wo pa wo Ningo ha sisianti na sisiade ni abie e se ye fa ye papa Mahama ba no ba tisaya na enya bibi kaka na
e ha no munni ejuma munye ejuma mun kopo
ejuma bia ni ho na ebe ye
se po no da ho
e da ho kwafo enye ejuma e po no da kwafo ye kopo no kwafo enya na mu omo ka se omo sipo anu ba se no omo ye no anam bia ni ho nti ye bre wo ni go ha no
isio ye ni bi ye ni so wo ho ye ni todeti papa bia ho e ma ho ba ye ni mu guase papa te pese omra be ye ni ye ha nyina ma ye na dachi nu ye yi na ye na hu se oye bemba e no be ye bemba juma
ba me kai se Dr. Baumia e ka bibi se MPP ba power ombesi toilet o bebi ha no mu sibi
obeka so obeka nu kwa ntimi ye en se mama di obe.
Okay, so these people raise one very important issue. This man here, and they have taken over the front part of this place. Let me speak to you, madam. What are the